Today, we're diving into the fascinating history and the hidden workings of how a tiny, seemingly simple piece of plastic basically dismantled the 80-year-old cable industry. Yep, we're talking about the Amazon Fire TV Stick. It's so easy to look at this little gadget plugged into the back of your TV and think it's just a basic accessory, right? But the reality is way more complex. We're going to explore the crazy hardware, the massive cultural revolution it sparked, and the multi-billion-dollar business model quietly running right there in your living room. Let's get into it.
To really wrap our heads around the massive scale of this revolution, just look at this number. Over 250 million Fire TV devices have been sold globally by Amazon. I mean, that is a staggering figure. It means this ecosystem is quietly taking over living rooms all over the world, acting as the ultimate digital gatekeeper for hundreds of millions of people. But how exactly did one little piece of hardware pull off that kind of market penetration?
Section 1. What exactly is a Fire Stick? At its core, the Fire Stick is a streaming media player. Back when it launched, it completely democratized smart TV functionality. The big takeaway here is that you didn't have to go out and drop a fortune on a brand new, crazy expensive smart television just to watch Netflix or YouTube. By tapping into the universal HDMI port that's already on almost every TV out there, it let literally anyone instantly upgrade their aging hardware into a fully internet-connected entertainment hub. It was a real game changer. Moving on to Section 2, how the hardware actually works.
The physical setup is, by design, incredibly simple. You plug it into the HDMI port, plug it into power, and connect to your Wi-Fi. That's it. But what's really cool is how modern versions, like the new Fire TV Stick HD, have refined this even further. They use a neat feature called direct power. This lets the stick run entirely off your TV's standard USB port. So no more bulky wall adapters or dangling power cables. It makes the whole setup virtually invisible.
Now, under the hood, you really have to think of this device as a highly optimized microcomputer. It basically acts as an edge computing translator. It pulls down these massive, complex 4K high dynamic range video signals from high-speed cloud servers and decodes them right there for your local screen. And it does all of this while managing extreme heat constraints inside a tiny, enclosed space. Honestly, it's an absolute marvel of thermal management and component density.
And this hardware has evolved so rapidly. It all started back in 2014 with the original stick, which was codenamed Montoya. But the real breakthrough hit in 2016 when they added the Alexa voice remote. That completely shifted how we navigate, going from clicking clunky buttons to just using natural speech. By 2018, they introduced Ultra HD 4K streaming, and today we're looking at slimmer, hyper-efficient models. Every single iteration has been laser-focused on removing friction from your viewing experience.
Which leads us to Section 3, the cord-cutting revolution. Because it offered such an affordable and capable alternative, the Fire Stick really became the primary vehicle for cord cutting. Think about it. For decades, consumers were locked into these rigid, super expensive cable bundles, often paying over $100 a month for channels they literally never even watched. The Fire Stick gave people the key to finally break free from that outdated model.
So the crucial point here is that this $40 dongle fundamentally altered human behavior. Streaming shifted almost overnight from being this quirky secondary alternative to becoming the global default for entertainment. It essentially turned the entire television market into an a la carte menu, where you only pay for the specific apps and services you actually want to use.
All right, let's dive into Section 4, the hidden business model. Now, here is the big Trojan horse reveal. If you thought Amazon was just selling you a cheap piece of hardware to be nice, well, think again. The device itself is actually just a gateway to a much larger, incredibly lucrative economic engine. The Fire Stick is Amazon's secret weapon for dominating the living room. It acts as a totally frictionless gateway to keep you locked into your Amazon Prime subscription. It serves as the visual hub for the whole Alexa smart home ecosystem, like letting you check your Ring doorbell right on your TV screen. And maybe most importantly, it constantly gathers your viewing habits, turning your TV into a highly profitable digital billboard right in the center of your home. And that brings us to Amazon's ultimate advantage in the advertising space, first-party purchase data. See, other TV platforms, they only know what shows you like to watch. But because the Fire Stick is tied directly to your Amazon account, Amazon knows what you actually buy on their retail site. This means advertisers can target video ads based on your real-world shopping behavior. So they can show you an ad for diapers because you just bought baby formula online, rather than just taking a wild guess based on your age or zip code. It's pretty wild.
Moving into Section 5, switching to Vega OS.
To tighten their grip on this massive ecosystem, Amazon is currently pulling off the technological equivalent of swapping out a car's engine while it's driving down the highway at full speed. For a decade, Fire TV ran on Fire OS, which was basically a heavily customized version of Google's Android. But moving forward, Amazon is transitioning new devices to Vega OS, which is a proprietary Linux-based operating system. So why does this matter to you? Well, Vega OS completely removes Amazon's reliance on Google's update cycles. It's incredibly light, meaning devices run a lot faster while using half the memory.
However, this transition does come with a major shift in user control, the end of sideloading. On the old Android system, you could easily install unauthorized third-party apps from around the web. Vega OS completely blocks that. Now, from one perspective, this turns the Fire TV into a closed, highly secure ecosystem that's way less vulnerable to bad code. But from another perspective, power users are losing the freedom to customize their devices outside of the official Amazon App Store.
And because Vega OS isn't Android, all those existing apps don't just work natively anymore. Developers are now being forced to completely rewrite their apps using new web technologies. To stop users from losing access to their favorite streaming services during this huge transition, Amazon is actually taking the step of streaming cloud apps directly from their servers to your screen as a temporary stopgap. It's an incredibly ambitious move, all designed to create one unified operating system for every future Amazon smart home device.
Finally, let's look at Section 6, the AI-powered future.
The biggest problem with streaming today is that we have way too many apps and absolutely nothing to watch. It's the classic paradox of choice. To solve this, the newly redesigned interface utilizes Alexa Plus, which is a highly advanced conversational AI. So instead of clicking through 5 different apps to find a specific movie, you can now just use natural language. You can ask Alexa Plus complex questions to find exactly what you're in the mood for, searching across all your different subscriptions simultaneously.
By combining this AI-driven search with the new ambient experience, which displays beautiful art, calendars, and smart home widgets when you aren't actively watching a show, the television basically stops being a giant black mirror that you just stare at. It bypasses individual app menus entirely to push content directly to you. Ultimately, it turns the television into a constant, intelligent companion for your home.
As we wrap up this explainer, seeing how a simple, inexpensive piece of plastic evolved from a basic video player into a proactive, data-driven AI hub, well, it leaves us with one pretty provocative thought to consider. When the interface is designed to predict your habits, serve you targeted ads based on your actual shopping data, and funnel all your choices through a conversational AI, when your TV knows exactly what you want to watch before you even sit down, who is really holding the remote? Thanks for watching and keep exploring.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more How Meets History.